Welcome to the Blonde Blitz, where we break down the game.
Hey everybody, it is Blonde Blitz time. Let's go. Hey guys, it's Deb Whitcas, host of the Blonde Blitz. We are more than halfway through the season, and playoffs are only 7 weeks away. I thought it would be a fun time to take a look back at some of the interviews and segments that we've done here at the Blonde Blitz. Kind of a best of show. We will be live again next week at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific for our second annual Friendsgiving Day show on Wednesday, November 26th. But until then, enjoy this Blonde Blitz mashup. Let's go. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first show of Season 3 of the Blonde Blitz. Week 1, it's in the books. Week 2 is in the books. Week 3 is in the books. How crazy was it? Week 4 is over. Week 6 is over. Week 7 is in the books, everybody. Week 8 is over. Week 9 is a memory. Week 10 has passed. And week 11 is upon us. We've got a great show for you today. All right, guys, let's get it all started. Women in Sports, Shay Holland, HGTV designer to the athletes, and I were interviewed by Spectrum One News in Los Angeles about the roles women play in sports media. Check it out.
Lines in the studio or sitting at home, women are changing the game on how sports are covered. Our Ray Williams is in studio, and she has more on the story. Good morning, Ray.
Yeah, Kelvin, good morning. For decades, sports media has been built around men, but women are claiming their space not only on the mic, but in the audience, infusing lifestyle, fashion, and so much fun mixed right in with the nuts and bolts of the sport itself. So I went to find out what exactly is in the playbook. Exactly. The mics open and the voices of two sports podcasters fill the set at Studio Place LA. But Shay Holland and Deb Whitcas aren't just making conversation. They're part of a growing wave of women changing how sports are talked about and who they're talking to. And for Deb, who is the creator and host of the NFL podcast, The Blonde Blitz, it's about time.
44%, if not more, of NFL fans are women. And so it's just great that the media is now focusing stories and focusing content for women. And I just never thought when I was younger I would ever see this day. And I'm so excited that it's here.
A study by Wasserman's The Collective estimates that 75% of women are sports fans. Deb says that shift also proves what women have always known.
Everyone thinks, oh, you're a woman, you don't know sports. Like, no, that's so not true. Sometimes the women know sports sometimes as well as, if not better than the men. We get the X's and O's, and I think the media knows that.
For fans less focused on touchdowns and tackles, Shay offers a different angle, bringing her background as an HGTV host to the arena.
This was just the perfect timing and the perfect way to be able to say, okay, how do you set up your home for the watch party? What are some of the things that maybe the guys are doing in their home theaters that you can use in your own home? So I love being able to merge both of the worlds for the female fans in particular.
She says adding fashion, design, and wellness to the conversation isn't watering sports down. It's widening the lens.
These are universal. It's not dumbing it down at all. It's absolutely that it's the human experience, and I think it's just adding more of the heart of the game.
That perspective is also what drives Betches Sports, a spin-off of the brand known for their understanding of millennial and Gen Z women.
Can we get a hint?
No. Sports content lead Zoe Schubot says it's a field they couldn't ignore.
Betches Sports is sports for women. It is not women's sports, it is sports for women. So it is a place where women can come and enjoy and appreciate sports in a way that is fun, in a way that is not intimidating, in a way that is inclusive.
And this year, the brand brought its voice to the NFL's biggest stage.
We attended the Super Bowl and we had our little pink booth on Media Row, and we kind of stood out as it was this little beacon of pink light among all of these other media sources. And I'm so excited for the day when there is not just one little pink booth there, but when there are multiple. And I think that it's creating kind of a level of depth to sports coverage that we haven't really seen before.
And Shay agrees, female fandoms can only lead to bigger connections.
Sports is a great unifier, just like our homes are a great unifier. Just like we invite people to our homes oftentimes, we want to gather together. What better way to do that than around sports?
The next play in sports, women shaping the coverage and the crowd. Industry watchers say the shift isn't slowing down. It's actually the start of a permanent change in how sports are covered. I personally love this, especially the fashion side of it, the courtside fashion, the players' fashion. I think it's a great time to be a sports fan, especially as a woman.
Yep. Well, I have no disagreement there, Ray. Thank you so much.
Reports lately that women don't belong in football. I wanted to get your thoughts on that, and cursing is allowed.
Oh, there's a lot of cursing I could do on this one, but I will try and keep it relatively PG-13.
Right.
I'm going to make it general, not the specific. The first one I would say for any woman who's criticized, because that's all of us, right? Whether you're in sports journalism or in the front office or on the field, for some reason, there's this manosphere conversation in which they feel like it should be 100% guy, right? Like that rock that he crawled out from under to like shout out like, no girls allowed ever, not one.
It's like boys
no
and girls
matter.
have cuties or something.
Like there is not one possible girl who could be good in this thing, right? Like that to me is a hard thing to say, right? So that would be one. Two, it would be consider the source. That's this person who's saying things about all women. No women should ever be in the manosphere of coaching, front office, media. What is he doing? Is he the very, very best in his craft to sit there and have time to throw darts at random women? Or is he somebody that's angry because the world, for some reason, did not allow him to be the only boy in the sandbox, right? And I struggle with that because even when I brought it up, as you know, my picture was thrown up on somebody's conversation and I was like, I don't know you. What? Like, you know nothing about me as an individual. You just don't like my existence. So you're mad at me for being female while coaching. That's it. You don't know me. You don't know anybody I've coached. You have no reason to personally use me as your cover child. Okay, I've got a lot of F words for you, and none of them are football. Okay, a lot of them. I could beep with the best of them. But what I found much more interesting, and I think I proposed the best solution for guys like this, is like, let's grab 11 guys that you coached. I'll grab 11 players that I've coached, right? And let's see who really wins this thing.
What made you include NFL in a women's flag football book?
Flag football is just being taken from the NFL and like being taken from the game of boys tackle. So just to have that base and the best of the best from the base sport, but from those players, they also talked about how they wanted to play flag too. Like Matthew Stafford mentioned how he might want to join flag like professional. So I think that's really cool that a lot of those professional players that play from the base sport can give you advice to this new sport that's being created from it.
And what was one takeaway from each of the interviews?
Also interviewed Deanna Flores and a bunch of like the big flag girls. So then there's like both interviews from both of the sports. But my biggest takeaways, I think for the Whitworth one, I think the coolest thing was just being a multi-sport athlete because that really resonated to me from playing all these sports. For Jared Goff, he talked about this indicator step that he has with his receivers. And I thought that was really cool because I asked him, I was like, how do your receivers just know when to turn for the ball like every time? They do this like step like in their route a little bit differently. So they're indicating like, I want the ball now. And I thought that was really interesting. And something Michael Strahan taught me was just to focus on like the job you have at hand.
Bills versus Bucks Sunday at 1 p.m. What do you got and why?
Ooh, the fact that the Bills and the Bucks both coming off losses, which is a rare thing to say, right? You got two teams of that caliber, but I think the Bills need this game. While the Bucks lost, the Bills got embarrassed. The Bills got embarrassed by a Miami Dolphins team. I mean, a Miami Dolphins team that didn't have no Cheetah. I mean, what Dolphins did? No Cheetah, no Jalen Phillips, no Jalen Ramsey, no GM, and they beat the brakes off the Bills. I got the Bills winning this one, but I know the Bucks will not go quietly into the night.
Absolutely. And the Bucks actually lead the all-time series 8-5. And some interesting stat here, the Bucks have never won a regular season game in Buffalo. Ever.
I mean, has it gotten cold in Buffalo yet? Because if it's gotten cold, that's not going to bode well for Baker Mayfield and company.
Look, Cameron Dicker, I think, has been doing great. He
He's
Always
probably the
on
best
point.
kicker. He's got to be the best kicker in the NFL. There's no
Yes.
question.
And you and I were talking actually at the Rams practice about how special teams this season across the league has been off, but not Cameron.
Not Cameron. No, I should have looked that up, like how many he's actually missed, but it's not very many. He's very good. He's accurate. He's got a very, it's interesting for a kicker. A lot of kickers are very uptight. When you see them, they're very, very tunnel vision focused. He is a little bit more, he has some of that, but he's also kind of happy-go-lucky kind of guy, and so it's interesting.
Yeah, I feel like Cameron Dicker and Jake Elliott are very similar personality-wise and kicking styles that we know from the Eagles as well. Subjects that you're working on right now.
I was the president for the NFL Players Association for the Austin and San Antonio chapters for 4 years, from 18, 19, 20, 21. Yeah, from 18 through 21. And then I became the director of player relations, community and relations for the NFL Alumni Association. So those are my babies, both of them really, because they're both geared to help former players transition, like what we just said. Do you want to go back to school? Do you want to start a new career? Do you want to start a nonprofit? So that, always been a passion of mine to get former players engaged back into society and the community. I do that. So whenever you do hear about the NFL alumni, especially here in Texas, partnering with some local kids charities, I'm probably the one that's called these players to get them to show up at these events. That's what I do.
Just came from a Make-A-Wish last night.
Oh yeah,
the Rams, and it was so special, and I was so honored to be there. So I love hearing this.
Yeah. We got to get the guys back out into the community because so many people have served us as fans and bought our jerseys or our cards or things like that. So always wanted to give back to those that are less fortunate, than us. So that I do have the Roderick Walker Foundation that I just started. I just did a NFL celebrity casino night, and we raised money for Alzheimer's, which was a lot of fun. We raised money for Dale Children's Hospital, the Boys and Girls Club, Central Texas Food Bank.
Yeah.
I thought everybody could throw. Like that's how crazy that was. I thought everybody could throw a football. And we didn't have camps and clinics and development skills, things like that. Like we pushed each other. Like we were our coaches, right? We just went out and played. And we got better, we got sharper, iron sharpens iron, right? So we got sharper just competing against each other. And I didn't, like I said, I look back on it now and I see it. But growing up, I was clueless. I had no clue.
Right. What was that transition like from college to the NFL? How did that happen? Like, take me back to that phone call from the Jaguars.
Well, it was a tough road for me. I had a lot of people coming out of high school. I was number one in the league that we were in Spokane, Washington, and I didn't get any looks from any universities. Jason Hansen's brother, ironically, Jason Hansen had a brother by the name of Travis Hansen. We all grew up in the same area, Spokane, and Travis Hansen got a full ride scholarship to the University of Washington. I ended up going to a junior college, so I wanted a scholarship. Long story short, they wanted me because I was, because I fit their program, and they weren't worried about my size. I could kick a ball. Then when I finished the 2 years there at Wenatchee Valley College in Central Washington, I was right back in the same boat I was in high school. Coming out of high school looking for a college. I was looking around like I got 2 more years of eligibility and no one wants me. Finally, John L. Smith from the University of Idaho, go Vandals. called me up one day and said, hey, you know, we got this guy from Michigan State. We think he transferred in, not as good as we thought, so give it a shot. And so anyways, it's a long story, but it definitely was a road. I had a lot of hurdles. I had a lot of people to prove wrong. And it all came out of my size. You know, I was kicking the ball better than guys that were twice my size and athletic ability. So I did prove a lot of people wrong, and I'm happy to do so. But was eventually got me in the NFL, and the history's, you know, there.
Yeah, and take me back to that phone call you got from the Jaguars, because you played the inaugural season of the Jaguars.
Yeah, very, very funny story, because wanted me back in San Diego, but I told him, I said, listen, Jacksonville expressed an interest. I got a much better shot of getting the starting job in Jacksonville than I did in San Diego because of John Carney. And literally he gave me a couple weeks, and long story short, we went back and forth. My agent finally said, you know, Tom Coughlin thinks you're too short. They're going to go with a different guy. And so I'm like, whatever.
That, by the way.
It was crazy. It's a crazy story. And so I'm thinking I'm going to go back to San Diego, and out of the blue, I told my family on a Sunday night, I said, hey, listen, I've held on to San Diego too long. I got to get my ducks in a row. I got to make a decision. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to call San Diego, and I'll go back there. Monday morning, Jaguars called and said, hey, Tom Coughlin wants to see you kick in person. He just doesn't believe that you could actually do what we see on film. So they flew in that Thursday and signed me to the team then.
That's wild. So San Diego lost out.
Yeah, but I was there the year before, and John Carney had gone to the Pro Bowl that year. So my shots were, I had no shot whatsoever. My chances were very slim.
Well, and you said,
what's up, everybody? My name is Virginia Sunshine, and I am a professional holistic private chef specializing in clean cuisine, which I lovingly dubbed culinary healthcare. I have been blessed to have some rock stars on my roster, including the legendary Von Miller. But I'm not here to name drop. I am here to help us swap out for the snacks that keep you snatched. Yes, even on game day. So here we go. Of course, we're all sort of sick of hearing just have some hummus and veggies. But truly, it's not a bad idea. It's just there are better swaps. Yes, you can go for cucumbers with your guacamole or carrot slices. But here's what I would suggest. Instead of snacking and filling up on chips and dips and other little mini things, consider game day food your actual meal. So stick to your macros. Make sure you get your proteins, your fat, your veggies, and you should be in really good shape. And with that, I want to introduce to you my buffalo chicken lettuce wraps. These used to be a favorite of some of my rock stars on the teams, and just so happens to be lean, clean snack. So we start with some Boston lettuce, and y'all, I had to take it to the next level with some dill pickle potato chip crusted chicken tenders. Look at these bad boys. These are air fried, easy peasy. Now, I will say, if you do not have time to dredge, well, first of all, clean and trim the chicken tenders. I hate that little piece of sinew that always shows up in the tender. If you do not have time to dredge in flour and egg and crushed up pickle chips and air fry, use a rotisserie chicken. Just add all the other goodies and you are good to go. Here's how I take this to the next level. Some shredded carrots, because of course, carrots and celery, classic buffalo style accoutrement. Some shaved celery. Yum. Elevate this. Take it to the next level with some avocado. That's the healthy fats there. Tons of protein in the chicken that little extra crunch. And if you wanted to get super fancy, do not be sleeping on sprouts and microgreens. I think this takes the dish to the next level. Personally, I love when food is as beautiful as it is delicious, because we eat just as much with our mouths as we do with our eyes. And of course, some nice, clean buffalo sauce to drizzle over our lettuce wraps. They're gorgeous, they're clean, they're delicious, and we're gonna love them. And we're gonna love them. Let's taste one of these bad boys. Oh my God. It's so good. It's creamy, it's crunchy, it's spicy, it's very veggie forward. It's freaking delicious.